I'm Randy, founder and CEO of Zen Habitats, and today we're going to walk you through how to use our 4x2x4 extension kit. Because this extension kit allows you to combine two 4x2x4s or a 4x2x4 and a 2x2x4, say that 3 times fast, there's multiple pieces that come in the kit. So let me walk you through each of them. The first piece is our back connecting frame. And the way you know that this is the back frame is there's only a single channel on each side of the frame. If you're going to set up two 4x2x4s, then you just need to grab one of the other front frames and make sure that you're using the smooth side of the frame, as this will allow you to use both channels for your front doors. I'm going to set up a 4x2x4 with a 2x2x4, again, say that 3 times fast. You're going to want to look for these little drill holes, and these drill holes are going to allow you to attach the 2x2x4 with the 4x2x4. And the final piece is a door stopper. If you're using a 2x2x4, you're going to want to put this inside the frame. We'll show you how to do that. And this will allow the swinging door of the 2x2x4 to stop in place. Okay, so the first step in the assembly process, if you have two 4x2x4s already pre-built, you're going to need to remove the screens, remove the side panel, remove the back panels. If you're assembling the enclosures for the first time, then simply use the extension kit frames when it comes to the front sliding door connectors and the back door connectors. And again, we'll go through that in just a few minutes. So what we're going to do now is either use a screwdriver or a hand drill and remove the screen. Now that the screens are out of the way, we're just going to remove all of the panels. Again, we're going to remove the back panels and the side panels. Next thing we need to do is remove the bottom door tracks and go ahead and pull this all the way up out of the frame, and then we're going to remove the screens as well. And now we're going to take out the screen. We're going to flip these on the back to remove these 4 posts, and we're going to replace them with the extension kit frames. All the side frames are removed. We're going to use the back frame. We're going to install that first. And what we're looking for is the single track on each side. This is going to go on the bottom, and you're going to want to see the smooth side. You're not going to want to see the ridge. You're going to want to see the smooth side. That's going to be face up. So we're just going to put this back here, and we're going to align the 2 enclosures with the screw holes. Go ahead and put the screw in place. Get the fully extended on the back side and line it up. Same thing over here. Again, we're going to push it all the way through and then make sure it lines up with the hole, and then we'll screw it in place. And install the front connector frame. And again, what we're looking for is double channel on each side because we have the 2 sets of sliding doors. And we're going to go ahead and just align this to the bottom here, screw those in place, then we'll flip it over and start reassembling our enclosures. So now we're going to go through the process of building the enclosure back up. And we're going to start by utilizing the front screen. And we have 2 options here. You can use the screen or an acrylic piece that comes with the 4x2x4 enclosure. But in our case, we're going to use the screen. And we're going to slide it in the front door tracks. We're going to install the bottom door tracks. And this is for the sliding doors. And it's going to sit on top of the screen. And we're looking for the single channel. And we want that channel to be facing forward, right? So that it goes right on top of this screen. But we're gonna start by inserting it at the top of the frame and sliding it all the way down. It goes inside this track. These little notches go inside these tracks. We're gonna make sure it locks in place. So now we're gonna install the back panels. We're gonna start with the bottom panel. The back panels come with the connector, so we're just going to go ahead and lay this right on top. And now we're going to install the top back panel. Let's do the same thing for the other side. Finally, we're going to attach the screens. But when attaching the screens, make sure your double door track is in the front of the enclosure, and this allows your doors to easily move back and forth. All right, so that's how easy it is to build an 8x2x4 enclosure, and the final step is simply installing your doors. Now let's walk through how to set up a 6x2x4 enclosure, which is going to require a 4x2x4 and a 2x2x4. So the first thing we did is put on the two side frames on each side of the enclosure, just kind of give us a little stability when putting this together. Now what we want to do is take the back support frame and put it in the back. And the way you know it's the back one is there's a single channel on each side, and it's gonna have a flat side that's gonna be, you want facing up, not the groove side. That's gonna face away from you, right? It's gonna face the back of the enclosure. This is gonna face the front of the enclosure. So we're just gonna put it back here, and we're gonna line it up to the holes, and we're gonna screw it in place. This part you have to pay attention to. What we want to make sure we do is we have two different options for the inside front frame, and what you're looking for is where these sets of screw holes are, because this is going to help you attach and lock your 2x2x4 door into place. So because our 2x2x4 is on this side, I want to make sure that the holes are also on this side, and the way you know it's the right thing is these are on the upper half or upper portion of the frame. On the bottom, it's blank, but you can see the holes are towards the top. So this is the correct side to lock in that door. So we're gonna just go ahead and screw this in place. Now that we have those screwed in place, we're gonna go ahead and flip the enclosure over. Now that we have the frame and everything in the upright position, we're gonna decide, are we gonna use a screen substrate shield or a solid substrate shield, so an acrylic substrate shield. If you use the acrylic, just make sure you peel the liner on this first, but in our case, we're just gonna use the screen. So I'm gonna yeet this to the side. What we want to do is just slide this in the front track so it locks in place. We're going to install the bottom door track, and there's a couple features about this that we have to pay attention to. One, there are these two holes here, and that's where your door is going to pivot from, and then you have this little ledge here. So you want the ledge in the back and the holes towards the front of the enclosure. And on the bottom, you can see there's a single track, and you want, again, this towards the front, because that's going to slide right on top of that screen that we put in place. Make sure that this door track slides right into these slots. So just like this. Then we're going to do it on the same thing on both sides. And we're just going to go ahead and slide it into place. So now we're going to drop all of our panels in place. On the back of the 4x2x4, there is this little extender that connects the bottom to the top panel. We're going to put our screen for the 4x2x4 in place, and then we're going to put the door and then the screen in on the opposite side. Okay, before we put on the screen, we are going to slide this little extra piece here, and it's a very thin piece with this little ledge, and you want to make sure that the ledge is towards the back part of it, and what it's going to do is it's going to slide right into the door frame and prevent the swinging door from folding into the enclosure. Okay, so when installing the screen, we want to make sure that this little ledge right here, there's only one side has this little ledge, that's going to be the front. So we're going to lay it in place, and we can even screw in the back two screws, but we're going to hold off screwing in the front until we get the doors in. Now the most satisfying part, the smartphone peel. We just want to line the pin with the hole. I'm going to go ahead and screw the screen into place. Now we're going to put the locking mechanism in place. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure we get the portion where the lock slides into. We have the open side that's going to face the door, and we're just going to screw this right into the frame. So I got the two screws in here. Just going to line these up. So when I'm going to put the lock into place, I like to make sure that when I'm locking it, I'm going over the top. Either way will work. That's just personal preference of mine. So I'm just going to take the screws and line it up with the holes in the door. And then there's a little bolt that's going to go on the other side. And we're just going to lock that in place. And before it's too tight, we're going to put the other screws in as well. So then we need to slide in the doors for the 4x2x4. That's how you use our extension kits for a 4x2x4 enclosure. So you can either make a 6-foot enclosure, just like this, or the 8-foot enclosure, which we already showed you. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to us online to our chat, or you can email us at support@zenhabitats.com. Thanks, everybody.